So you have your apps installed and your kids are ready to jump on their devices. Today we're going to go over the settings and how to monitor within the Qustodio environment. Let's get started. And this goes into more detail on what the latest searches are and what the watched videos are throughout the last month. Moving on down, we see the calls and SMS. There are no calls or SMS activity for Billy during this specific period. And then on activity timeline, we get a log of all activity for the child. This includes web activity, app activity, searches, calls and SMS, and locations. You can filter by which activity you want to see. If we click on rules, it gives us a drop-down of different rules we can set for the child. The first rule we can set is daily time limits. On daily time limits, we can restrict hours by days of the week. This doesn't restrict what times of day, just how much time they're spent on the device itself. On restricted times, this doesn't limit the number of hours, but does limit what time during the day that they can be on their phone. Web filtering lets us prune out content that we don't want the child to have access to. By default, there are some standard categories that are blocked, for example, gambling or violence. If there's additional categories that you want block or other actions taken, you can select the three dots to the right and select what action you want to take: allow, alert, or block. On exceptions, you can add or remove exceptions to the list. Click Add Exception. Type in what site you want to have an exception for. Select what you want it to do: allow, alert me, block, or ignore, and then hit Save. And then on settings, we have a couple of things to look at. First, block unsupported browsers. We don't want unsupported browsers being used so that the restrictions we put in place are followed. You have the option to block unknown websites. You can enforce safe search for search engine sites. And then there's blocked site notifications. This will send you an alert when a blocked site is tried to be visited. Then on YouTube monitoring, you can block browser access to YouTube, or you can set time limits. Then on games and apps, you can block or set time limits on an app-by-app basis. And then in settings, you can choose to receive an alert when your child uses an app for the first time. Calls and SMS are only available for the Android platform. Also, to view the text message content, you'll have to download the app from the Qustodio website instead of using the normal Google Play Store. If you're interested in seeing how this is installed, please leave a comment below and we'll be sure to create a video for that. For the rules, you can enable calls and SMS monitoring, which is text messaging. You can select to show the SMS content if you have installed it on that alternate route. You can also set rules for the incoming and outgoing calls to allow or block. And you can also do call exceptions by contact. For location, you can enable or disable location tracking. For social monitoring, you can enable Facebook monitoring if your child is on Facebook. And then the panic button. This gives you a quick run through of how to turn this on. Just to turn on the switch to enable panic button feature, invite some trusted contacts for Billy, and open the app on Billy's phone to show him the panic button. We will not go through this at this time, but if this is something you're interested in, please be sure to follow these steps. And that concludes our walkthrough for the Qustodio app settings. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. If you liked this video, please leave a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button. Ring the bell to be notified when any new videos come out. And remember, you are the first line of defense when it comes to keeping your kids safe in technology.